Hello and welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. This week's episode is brought to you by the Heights Bed and Breakfast in Jarryd Bay. Look, it's time to plan that week-long getaway to Australia. You've put it off long enough, you've got the PTO, it's time to do it. And I've got good news for you. The Heights Bed and Breakfast in Jarryd Bay is just waiting for you. This bed and breakfast is part of the beautiful turquoise coast, and it's located just 9 kilometers inland of Jarryd Bay in Western Australia. It's also surrounded by natural bushes, among other types of plants. Eco-travelers, families, groups of friends, and business travelers from all over the world who are looking to escape the city have a serene place to stay for short or long periods of time at this Western Australian country home. If you want to know more about this lodge or the things that you can do in Jarryd Bay, head on over to JarrydBayHeightsBnB.com.au for more information. That's JurrydBayHeightsBnB.com.au and book your Australian adventure today. This week's episode is brought to you by Elephant and Castle, located at 185 North Wabash and 111 West Adams in Chicago, Illinois. Look, I know you're looking for that perfect English pub experience so you can grab some incredible drinks and tasty food. Elephant and Castle has you covered. They have excellent daily drink specials, happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., and some delicious-ass food for you to chew on while you watch some fucking sports. Come on down to Elephant and Castle at 185 North Wabash or 111 West Adams in Chicago, Illinois, and tell them that Mind Gap Podcast sent you. It finally happened, gang. Our super fan from fucking Australia came to the United States to visit us. That's right, we're talking about the one and only Jarryd Urbas. This wonderful human sat down with Justin and I to discuss his adventures in the US, Aussie versus US slang, and how overconsumption can be a real bitch. Jarryd is a true gentleman, and we couldn't have been more excited to have him on our podcast. So sit back, grab your knife, and get ready to slay all the dangerous creatures in Australia as we dive into episode 212 of Mind Gap Podcast. Mind Gap Podcast.
Put a lot of emphasis on the I. Just extend the I, so it's like knife.
Knife?
Knife.
Hey, it's knife.
He's
Oi, it's knife.
What have you done? What have you done?
Ladies and gentlemen, Jarryd Urbas is here. Our wonderful superfan from Australia has come all the way to us to hang out and chat with us, saying thank you so much for making the trip just to see us. And not the Review Universe Podcast.
Podcast?
Why is everyone having trouble speaking today?
Podcast.
My goodness.
That sounds like some horrible religious thing. Like, I'm a podagast, not to be confused with a pederast. You started this.
Which is different than, Joe, what did I say? No.
It was
Bob Brisket? Yes.
Brisket. I almost said biscuit. What's worse, Bob Brisket or Bob Biscuit?
Well, it depends on which kid you're talking to.
Oh, God. I missed you, Justin.
We haven't seen each other in a while.
I haven't
We
seen
got
each
to get
other
back into
in a
this.
hot second. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, no, thank you for making the flight, man. This is
really
obviously
special.
we're one stop of many that you're making while you're here. But tell us about your journey. How did you come to find the States?
How did I find it? On a map.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Everything's bigger. Like, much bigger.
Yeah.
Food's bigger. City's bigger. People are bigger.
Because of the food.
Yeah, because of the food. Yeah. Yeah.
You've had what in Chicago so far?
I've had a Chicago hot dog.
Uh-huh.
An Italian beef, which is like a beef and gravy roll without the gravy.
Is that an Australian thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you get those all the time.
A beef and gravy roll.
Yeah.
Without the gravy.
Yeah.
Now with the gravy, are you talking like
brown gravy.
Like a brown gravy. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Like proper gravy.
Right.
It's marinara sauce, Justin.
We're not talking the Thai gravy, right?
And I've had the deep dish pizza.
Nice.
So
So you understand why we're bigger here.
yeah.
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 Fully. We're eating cheese casserole when we eat pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of booze to be found, too. So if you wander around, a lot of comedians are like, oh, fucking Chicago with their mustaches and their diabetes, you know? Because that's how they roll. I said we. I'm not a Chicagoan. I don't consider myself a Chicagoan.
You're a Downer Grovian now.
I guess. I'm a suburbanite.
Suburbanite.
That's what it is.
That's in your travels. Do not just promise me you won't go to the suburbs.
No?
It's death.
I mean, you can.
I
It's
mean,
just,
your
there's
house
not
is
much,
lovely, but
there's
it's
not much.
death.
Compared to here, you'd be like, cool, so this is where people live. Nice. And there's
This is where
There's
dreams go to
nothing.
die.
there's a supermarket, there's a Chili's, you know, it's like, okay, you know, it's suburban life, you know?
I mean, I live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Home, so this is
You're
it's
good.
nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
but it's
They're
the
all
s-
the same.
It's the suburbs of Australia. I've got to assume those are exotic.
I mean, ours have a lot more spiders, kangaroos.
I'll take the kangaroos. You can keep those fucking spiders.
I mean, you got to go a bit further out of the suburbs for roos, but
Yeah.
you know, like half hour
Yeah.
out of the city.
Yeah.
Does anyone keep pet roos out there? Is that a thing?
Yeah, but not really.
Yeah.
My parents have ones that visit them like all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my
assuming
mum's got
it's
one
just-
she nicknames Big Boy
Okay.
because he's a big boy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aptly named.
Yeah.
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 And it's just one that just like comes by to graze and.
Yeah, she just sees it
Does
most
he,
mornings.
Is he
yeah.
one of those ones that does like push-ups and stuff and has like the ripped delts and stuff like that?
No, he's not one of the massive ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
'cause
are
those
fucking
are the
terrifying.
guys that are out there just like, you know, doing shoulder flies with 40-pound dumbbells, just looking at you.
Just watching people drive by.
They're just like, You're like, okay. I've seen those. I'm like, those things have steroids in their system. They have packs. They have like 6-packs, and they're just like,
There's got to be Photoshop partially. I
I
can't
don't think
imagine
so.
those
No,
are
no,
actual.
those are real.
They're real?
They're real.
I always thought that someone was fucking around.
No.
Really?
Kangaroos have no fat on them. That's why kangaroo meat is like so healthy.
Really?
It's like a lean meat.
Fuck, man. That's
Yeah.
even more terrifying now. That's
Yeah.
even more.
That's all
fucking-
protein, man. And the thing is, too, they choke shit out, man. I've seen one of those ones that are like, they like try to choke each other out. Like they do
Yeah.
full death moves and everything like
Do
that.
they eat each other too? Like, do they know that they are lean protein?
No, they're herbivores.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah. So
That's what they want you to be.
Except the sick ones.
And I mean, they'll defend themselves with their claws and their feet. You
Yeah.
know, they'll
The
disembowel
little
you.
raptors. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. You think I'm joking, Justin?
No, I know you're-
I don't fuck around with dolphins and kangaroos. You know this.
So how was the flight?
It was alright. The first leg, Perth to Sydney, there was a space in between, like a seat
Nice.
in between us, so it was roomy. And that's the shortest leg, obviously.
Naturally, yeah.
And then the long flight, I was up against the window against two people that obviously had some kind of diet thing. So their food came out first, so their trays were down longer than everyone else's.
Oh.
So
no.
every time I got up, I was like, oh, I should go for a piss. Nah, tray's down. I'm just going to go back to sleep.
Nice.
So you were kind though, because there are those that are just like, fuck that. I'm
Yeah,
going. Like you were empathetic. You're like, I can't make them raise their tray.
Yeah. Fine. Just let them keep it down.
Yeah, right?
I'm not pushy enough to be like,
Yeah.
can you move that up? Like, I felt so bad when I actually did, like, it got to like 10 hours into the flight, and I was like, oh, I should probably go. And I was like, oh, do you guys mind? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Like, I felt so bad that they had to get up. It's like, this is what they're meant to do, though.
Yeah.
Are Australians typically like more docile? Are you? Because like we here have the joke that Canadians are just like they'll apologize for apologizing.
I think we're polite, but kind of blunt.
Okay.
So it'd be like, oh, excuse me, like, push through, but we get to the point a lot quicker.
Okay.
So
Cut
we're not
through the
like,
bullshit.
hi, how's your day? Can you please move? It's just move. Excuse me, but can you move?
Gotcha.
Excuse me, you dodgy cunt. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we drop C-bombs so
Yeah,
bad.
we do.
So I know I want.
That's why it's not that big of a deal,
I
you
want to
know?
go to Australia just for that.
I've heard the phrase dog cunt. Is that a phrase?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean?
It's just someone's real... Like, you can call someone a dog when they're doing something real shitty.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, there was a dog move.
Okay.
And dog
That's
cunts
like-
do dog moves.
So that's
This
kind of
is
like us
so
saying that's a
logical.
dick move.
Yeah.
You know, because that's a common thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a dick. That's a dog move. I laugh and be like, you just call me a dog? Like
I
what?
need to start implementing more of that and just really throwing people off.
Calling people dog cunts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Right.
That's good.
I prefer shit cunt.
Okay.
Like, that person's being a shit cunt. But if my mum's listening, I don't say that word, Mum.
Right.
I call people back to fronters
Back to fun.
because that's how they wipe back to front, and then they end up with a shit cunt. That one's for you, Aiden.
I thought you're like, hey, if my mom's listening, I don't say that. I don't say shit, but I say cunt all the time.
Back to fronters. I have to use that. That's so good.
I'm gonna use that on my wife tonight when I go home.
I would not suggest
it's like
this.
you back to fronter, and she's like,
I
what?
hope she
I'm
doesn't
like-
watch this.
It's like, no, she doesn't.
Jill, don't watch this.
She doesn't. She's seen worse from me. She's heard worse from me.
That's a very fair statement.
Hope Natalie's watching though. Check it out. Don't be a front to backer. Back to fronter.
No, be a
front
to backer. Don't be a back to fronter. Yeah.
That's what they call this episode's gonna be called Back to Fronter.
Oh, shit.
Or Back to Front. We'll just call it Back to Front.
That's some good advice. Down under and back to front.
Down under and back to front.
It's so amazing.
Back to front, the Justin Strandland story.
We
An underdog story. That's kind of that's like how you try to sell it. It's
Yeah.
like he was in the back and now he's back in the front.
Before we so I want to take the segue that you flawlessly did. Jarryd has no idea that I needed that segue, but I'm gonna ruin it because we're gonna go back to something else and we're gonna leave that segue in the dust. How was Indiana, and why did you go there first? Because not many people in the States, I don't know if you know this, not many people in the States respect Indiana.
Oh, they respect it more. They fear it more than they respect it.
Sure.
I went there because I had some friends there that I met when I was in Italy.
And I'm
7
sure
years
they're
ago.
lovely people.
They are.
Yeah, that's no reflection on them.
Jill and Nathan are very amazing. They
Yes.
put me up in their house.
Oh, cool.
I got to sleep in their kids' cars-themed bedroom.
That's awesome.
On a Cars bed,
Yeah.
cars pillows, cars all the walls, cars curtains.
That's amazing.
Or drapes, if you guys call them that.
That's awesome.
Curtains? Yeah.
Curtains. Okay.
Cars drape seems
yeah.
far too fancy for cars. As those are curtains.
Yeah, it was the manliest bedroom I've ever slept in.
That's amazing. Yeah.
When I met them, they were on their honeymoon,
Okay.
and now they've got 3 kids.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So I was well overdue to go visit them.
Yeah.
Always been saying, "Oh yeah, I'll come visit." And then I got to the point where I was like, "Oh, I really should."
I really need to come visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was easy to go see people I knew first, and then make that trip over to Chicago and meet some strangers from the internet.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is the way that you don't get murdered.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's the way you want to do it.
Yeah, I met Chris and Jean the first night, and the first thing they did was take me down a dark alley.
Ah.
There was a bar there, but the first thing I said was, "Yeah, this is a good idea. Strangers from the internet taking me down a dark alley."
Right. Yeah.
We're so glad you're finally here.
I feel like, and here we're in a basement, and we bolted the
We're
door
in the
shut. So
we're in the basement of a bar.
you
We did the
really are
same thing
making-
with Chelsea. We brought Chelsea here. She goes, and I unquestionably said yes. We were like, hey, come on down to the basement of this bar. We got it shut with the napkins so no one can get out.
You're making great
She
life
was like,
decisions.
okay.
What was the bar that they took you to?
3 dots and a dash.
Oh, it's a great
So
bar.
a fancy
Yeah.
rum bar.
That's
I
fun.
love
Yeah.
rum, so it was a good choice.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
They had they've got like you would call them a fishbowl still.
Yeah.
Like the share
Yeah.
ones, but they had really big ones. So it was like $400 for this pirate
Oh.
ship.
Yeah.
And 2 people ordered it, 2 tables next to each other that were obviously all together. And they play like these sound effects and this thunder and lightning, and then they
Jesus.
carry these ships out with 2 people.
Good God.
It was awesome, and
Wow.
I wish those were my friends. No offense,
Wow.
Chris and Jane.
Who can fucking drop $400 on a fish
Well,
bowl of booze?
how
That's
many
ridiculous.
people were doing it?
I think there was 5 or 6 to a table.
All right, so 2 tables. So
Oh, I thought you
they
said
split it.
2 people.
I thought
ordered
you
it.
said that.
No, no, no.
2
two
people
ta-
did 1. I'm like, that's $200 a person. Fuck
And
that.
you're gonna die when
Yeah.
you're done with it.
Right.
No. 2 tables.
Okay.
And both tables had 5 or 6 people.
That
So
makes a
th-
little more sense.
That's
right.
reasonable to split
Right.
that
It's
amongst
still
people.
about $80 a
Right.
head.
It's
but-
still far. It's like I would rather
That's a
buy a
high-end
nice
night
glass of scotch, and sip on that than get a fishbowl of like bright blue booze.
And you're obviously gonna have some backwash in there too as you're sucking in that.
Oh, anytime I do a shared bowl, I'll take a sip for me and then I'll put 1 back for the team.
There you go.
You know?
I like to blow bubbles in it,
Do you?
just like that, man. It's just
Yeah,
like
it's half the fun. How else will the fish breathe?
they need bubbles. Yeah, that sounds intense.
And so then, okay, so you had what kind of? I wanted to ask the Instagram picture that you posted of Giordano's when you went there. Was there a jalapeno on top of your? What kind of pizza did you get
No, we got the Chicago Classic.
Oh, okay. Which is mushroom, green pepper, onion, and sausage.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
I used to work at Connie's Pizza.
That's not Giordano's.
Right, but everyone serves the Chicago Classic, quote unquote.
Sure.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I'll believe you.
Like, the classic. It's got, that's about, 30 ounces? Is that what it is, worth of crust? And then you put about a couple handfuls, maybe 2 cups and a half of low-fat, low-moisture mozzarella cheese.
You've got the recipe all wrong.
Okay, whatever. I make
it's
bread now.
32 ounces of crust.
Well, I mean, if you want to be a dick about it.
3 full.
I'm on a diet. I do 30 ounces.
Oh, okay, fine.
I don't need the carbs, Justin, as I drink a soda.
Is, so.
Oh, right, yeah. Milliliters.
That's exactly right.
I don't know.
Ounce is weight, isn't it?
Sure.
Volume? Fluid ounces? Wait, I'm so confused.
Well, it depends. There's fluid ounces and then there's regular ounces.
I don't know the difference.
I've been here a week. I should know.
No, you really shouldn't. It's not something I would expect you to be like, I've actually mastered all of your units of measurement. I know your miles. I know your temperature. Like,
Well,
it all makes sense.
When we were talking about temperature walking here, because it is humid as balls today.
Yeah.
And
balls notoriously humid.
yeah. And you mentioned Celsius or centigrade, and I immediately had a flashback because when we went to Canada, we went to Canada earlier in the summer, and we were talking with someone. They're like, "Oh, it'll be about so and so kilometers or such and such." Or they were just like, "Yeah, 20 degrees." I'm like, 20 degrees, and then they were like, "Celsius." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm from the States."
Dumbass.
Right? Is it coming here? Because everywhere else that you've ever gone is all in agreement that you guys use the metric system. Is it how infuriating is it to come here and just like no one? You say that and people are like, "Idiot," because you get looks.
It just adds to the things that we're so similar and yet so different.
Yeah.
So when you guys say biscuit, you mean like a scone.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say, I'm blanking.
What does biscuit mean for you?
Like a cookie.
Oh, okay.
Like what you guys would class as a cookie. We only class cookie as the big one with like chopped chips. And we only really get cookies from Subway and
That's depressing.
Other places. No, because we got...
Right.
Well, fuck you, I got a pack of Tim Tams, all right?
They got good stuff.
You're going to regret that.
Nice.
No, I watched the British Baking Championship, so I know a biscuit is a cookie.
Good for
They
buddy.
call it that.
You're learning. I'm so proud of you.
But yeah, there were like lots of things, and it's just off center. It's like being in the Twilight Zone. It's mostly the same, but one thing's off.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, when I was with Nathan and Jill in Indiana, Nathan's an engineer, so he works in the metric system.
There you go.
Which means anytime something needed translating, he was right there.
He just knew it.
He knew
nice.
it.
That's fucking. To be that smart is terrifying. Like
Yeah.
just to be able to be like conversion. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but then he's got that Midwest accent that everyone assumes is. That's what we take as a thicker American, slower, because he's got that drawl.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting when you hear him, because I asked him about his work and he was like explaining that he designs all this stuff that does all this amazing thing, but just with this like drawl in it, just made it very, very different.
Well,
So
yeah.
We're not talking like super southern drawl, but like just enough of that. Like, I'm trying to like, what would your Midwest drawl be?
God, I don't know, man. I know where I come from, and my over-exaggerated where I come from. It's like, all right, man, listen here, okay? These fucking crickers are gonna come out of this ice house stop, and we're gonna fuck them up. All right?
Does it sound anything like that?
Similar, but
But
you know, he was
less
talking
aggressive?
engineering shit.
Yeah. All right. These assholes are gonna come at us with a goddamn lead pipe. I don't fucking know how. Is that engineering?
That is-
There's pipes in engineering, right?
I think that's Cluedo.
All right, the house is going to be 50 ounces by 50 ounces, okay? You with me? You with me? I'm sorry, milliliters. My bad. Here we go. You with me? Is that better?
Does that sound like him?
No.
I only know the metric system because of track and field,
okay,
because, I was around, 400 meters is, 1 lap around, 1,600 meters is a mile. We would, in college, we would always measure in meters, and you'd always have to figure out, he threw X amount of meters, and that's equivalent to this many feet and all that sort of stuff. So I haven't done that in a while, but I used to know pretty quickly. I was like, that's roughly this amount.
Yeah.
That was a cool story, I know. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
The
it.
marathon's the only reason I know kilometers. The only reason I know kilometers.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't think we use any imperial, really.
No.
Good
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
Oh, except for I measure myself. I'm 6 foot.
Okay.
That's the only time. And I
What?
don't
Is
know
that-
my height in centimeters.
Oh,
Wow.
really? Is that standard when you're talking about someone's height? You guys
I don't
change
think
over?
so,
Okay.
but I hit
That's
6
just
foot,
you.
and I'm like, fuck it, I don't need to know anything.
That's fair.
I think
Yeah.
it's 187 centimeters.
No.
But I could be wrong.
centimeters? Nope. It said no. You son of a
No, okay.
How many centimeters is 6 feet? Nope.
6 feet is 182.
182.
0.88.
That's pretty
So,
good.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
That wasn't too far off.
Look, we got Goodwill Hunting over here.
I honestly wish that we would adopt. It would be a fucking nightmare, but I honest to God wish we would adopt the metric system. It would just make more sense. It honestly would, just for everyone around the world to be on the fucking same system.
I feel like you guys are like slowly implementing it, because even on your Pepsi there, it's got milliliters. So maybe you guys
Sure
are
does.
just slowly pushing it in.
It's also 1.25 pints. That's what PT is, I'm assuming.
Now, see, I need to start just paying attention to stuff like that. 'cause-
Hard stop.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I could learn it. I just don't. Like, I'm sure I've seen that before, and I'm just like, 20 ounces, done.
Yeah. I mean, I know fluid ounces very well, because if you get the 64 ounce from the, the 7-Eleven, that's a monster drink,
Yeah.
That's like 3 of those.
That's an American-sized drink.
That is.
So, what I wanted to do something fun, as opposed to what we normally do on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was already bored.
Yeah,
that
I know.
that was all boring.
So we're starting now. Welcome to Mind Gap. I printed off it, so I'm going to go back to the segue. You're talking about differences in what we call things versus what you call things. So what I have here is I have 2 lists. One is Aussie slang and one is USA slang. I also felt very dirty whenever I write USA. It feels like unnecessarily like nationalistic or something. I don't know. Yeah.
USA.
I wrote that. I'm like, I should have just put like,
American.
I feel bad
Fuck
doing that.
yeah.
I struggle with
Coming
my country.
again
So,
to say the
Yankee slang.
Yankee. There you
that's it
go.
right there. So I've not looked at this list. I had someone, I gave them the site, but I had them pull the list from the site onto Word. I've seen this list, so I'm going to give you this.
Okay.
You're going to quiz us on Aussie slang words, and we're going to quiz you on American slang words, and we're going to see how well we know the other's culture. Now, you don't have to do all of them. You can kind of sift through those and see which ones look right or feel right to you.
I had to translate like half of these this week.
That's amazing.
All right.
So we'll give you first serve. What do you got?
All right. Arvo. As in this Arvo.
The what?
Arvo.
Avo?
Avo.
This Arvo.
This Avo.
AVO?
I mean, the first thing
ARVO.
ARVO?
Yeah.
Arvo. Oh, Arvo.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I'm like, avocado. This avocado.
No, it's an Avo.
An Avo? I'm so confused. Arvo.
Arvo is it's a very specific Jeep that you take to the outback to find the gas tanker where the marauders are holding up all the water.
Yeah. Also known as what's that?
The Mad Max mobile.
Yep. What is Arvo?
I'll put it in a sentence for you.
Okay.
We met up this Arvo.
A bar? Basement.
Today? This
Afternoon.
day?
Oh.
Arvo. ARVO.
ARVO.
How do you get
Arvo.
afternoon? How do you get Arvo from afternoon?
Afternoon. Arvo. Same.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I don't know.
That makes so much sense. Why did I not see that?
There used to be a show in Australia as well, like after school,
Yeah.
called Savo,
Okay.
because it was on the Savo.
Saturday afternoon?
No, in the afternoon, like this afternoon.
Savo.
This Savo.
Ah.
Savo.
Wow. How many milliliters is that? All right, I got one for
I like
you.
mine better.
We say, and the thing is, I was going through the American ones, and I was like, this is the idiot that I'm like, he's gonna know all these.
I just assume you're gonna know all
Right,
these too.
just because it's so familiar to us.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way someone doesn't know these. If I say going Dutch.
Is that splitting the bill?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Oh, we should have had sound effects. Ding, ding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
we
the
use
sound
that
a
one.
kangaroo makes.
Less
Nice.
so, you just say split the bill.
Fair enough.
Less.
I think does
I'd
going
be less
Dutch
racist about it. You know.
does going Dutch apply just for dates or for like when you're with your mate?
I think typically it's when you're on a date. I think that's when I've heard it typically used. Like if Doug and I go out, I'm like, you want to go Dutch? Like I just would say, can we get 2 checks, please?
Can we split the bill? Is
Yeah.
usually what we
Yeah.
say.
But like,
honestly don't
a lot
use
of people
going
don't
Dutch.
use that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
All right, since we're on the slightly racist one.
I like where this is going.
Do you know what an esky is?
Esky.
Yeah.
Eskimo?
Well, it's related to that.
Avocado.
Esky. I was.
Come on, Doug, say it.
No.
Say it.
It's a trap.
Dig into
No.
your inner Missouri and say it.
It's a hipster from Sydney.
No.
Okay.
So
It's a roux.
no. So you guys would call it a cooler. So it's where you put your beers.
Oh,
Put ice and beers and drinks.
Esky.
Yes.
So it's a brand name, but we call all of them Eskies.
Right.
Because,
Gotcha.
like Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Sure.
We've
Or
got-
like Kleenex.
Right. I think
Xerox.
our cooler's brand is Igloo, isn't it?
Igloo. There's also Yeti.
Okay, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, so
along
we-
the same vein.
Yeah. So
Should
we
have
call
known
it
that.
Esky. Do you know what the Kiwis call it?
Oh, what do they call it?
Do you know what a Kiwi is?
Yes.
New
Yes.
Zealanders?
New
Yeah,
Zealand,
yeah. They call it a chili bin.
Actually, I really like that.
At first,
like that one,
At
too.
first, I was like, "That's dumb." It's perfect. Put it in the chili bin.
Grab me a Foster's out of the chili bin.
Hey, you want to put that head in the chili bin? keep it cool.
You cut his heart out. You might as well put it in the chili bin.
Put it in the chili bin. Hey, careful with the chili bin. There's someone's balls in there.
Pick one for him.
Pick one.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
It's see-through.
All right. Cum dumpster.
Was that actually there?
Yeah.
It's not. But it's a thing.
That's. I'm sorry.
It's
Mom.
not. It's not.
That's
It's
a
not what you
slut,
think it is.
right?
It's not what you think it is. Mm-mm. No.
Sperm bank?
Yes. Thank you. No.
It's the dumpster outside of a sperm bank. It's literally a cum dumpster.
Thank you. Okay. Here we go. How about? I feel like all these are easy.
Just
Riding shotgun.
Oh, that's the front seat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These are
that's
stupid.
easy.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You assholes.
I'm kidding. I'm like, I feel like all these are, especially with like, you know,
The thing is, like, I was thinking too. I'm like, with social media and everything, have we just bridged
Our
this
movies
gap
and things
where
like
it
that,
Just,
you know?
like
Yeah.
everything is bled over now. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know.
We see a lot more of your stuff than you see of ours. So,
Accurate. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we know most of what you guys have going on.
Sure.
All right. This one I literally had to say. Mozzie bite.
A mosquito bite.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. We're only down.
All right, we're
It's 2-1.
2-1. We're into it. All right. How about if I say? Carpetbagger?
Is that a lesbian? No, that's a carpet puncher. Is a carpetbagger an old lady because they have carpet bags?
It is not.
Nope.
Carpetbagger is a politician who is seeking election for somewhere they aren't from, or a company that profits from others' misfortune.
I don't even think I would have known
Why
that
do you
one.
need that, America? Why?
Carpetbagger.
Yeah. Don't know the story behind that one, but there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh, because they live out of a carpet bag when they go to the other place and run for office.
Now it makes sense.
It's logical.
Yeah.
Listen, just think about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw two at you.
All right, hit it.
All right, Bottle-O and Servo.
Servo?
Wait, I feel like I've heard servo recently. You said bottler?
Bottle-O
Bottle-O,
and Servo.
servo. Bottle-O.
Servo is the human who's been lobotomized and then slaved to the Mechanicum to then do the bidding of Space Marines and other people of the Imperium in the Space Warhammer 40k universe.
Yes, that.
No,
Was that servo?
that was Servo.
Ah,
What do you got
Servitor,
for-
my bad.
Right.
What do you got for Bottle-O?
A bottle of beer.
No, so a Bottle-O is a liquor store. So where you buy your drinks.
Okay.
Because unlike here, where you guys can just go to 7-Eleven and everything, we only sell it in liquor stores.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So it's a little more regulated.
And then a servo, let's translate it into American, is a gas station or a petrol station, or where the word comes from is service station.
Yeah, servo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Makes sense.
Bottle-o or servo?
All right, my turn.
What else
Oh,
you
wait.
got?
It says here, under the little blurb, if you ask for gas, don't be surprised if someone farts. Because we don't call it gas, we
Right.
call it petrol.
Right. Gas
that
would be literally,
is
Yeah.
funny. If I said, Jarryd, I need your John Hancock.
That's your signature, right?
Yep.
Because of your Declaration of Independence.
Let me get your Herbie Hancock on
Because
this one.
back in 1776, when your country was founded, the founding fathers were the following: Bob Brisket.
Well, just lead him with the pedophile.
That's what our country does, man.
Hey,
All
man,
right,
they're protected, that's for sure. They run for office and they win.
A bunch of carpetbaggers.
Do you guys know what a root is?
A rude?
Root.
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 I mean, I would assume that it's what a tree is made up of under the earth.
It's where all evil comes from.
The root of.
Sex.
To have a root?
Yeah, you have a root. Sex.
Is that
Like,
like,
rooting around in the sheets, like a pig looking for trouble.
because I know like in UK, like having a rut is like RUT's kind of like, it's time to rut. It's like, having sex.
Okay.
So I wonder if that's
How would you? Yeah. Do you know what the origin of that is?
Not quite. But it says here. I don't know why it says wombat. I think we normally say koala. But is someone that eats roots and leaves.
Someone that wait. So it's not sex?
No. So
Oh.
a root is sex.
Yeah.
But to describe a person that eats roots and leaves is a wombat or a koala.
okay.
Because they eat roots and leaves.
So
Yes.
they're not a vegetarian. They're a wombat.
They eat sex.
Or now, wouldn't it be interesting if a Marvel character instead of I am Groot says I am Root?
Oh, that'd be a whole different.
Means something different in Australia,
that
right?
just means we're throwing.
Everyone's
down
like,
too far.
I am sex. It's like, whoa. Or if it's like even worse, I am fuck. Don't take your kids to see this. It's a different movie.
It means different things there. What if I said in a New York minute?
Soon? Is it?
I'm done with this game. This game's stupid. Who came up with this?
I'm gonna get him. Go for it.
Okay. Fuck it. I'm going one that's not on there.
Oh.
Do you know what your boardies are?
Boardies?
Board shorts.
Yeah.
When you go surfing.
Yeah. See, you got that one.
Wow.
Yeah, I surf a lot here in Chicago. I'm just putting it out.
How about... All right, here we go. Monday morning quarterback.
Is it someone that talks shit about the game once they get back to work?
That's very specific. That's correct. As far as
So
like...
talk about the
It's criticizing something with the benefit of hindsight. So like a more like extrapolated, but the very exact definition is yes, someone's like, man, you know what he should have done was
Right.
passed it instead of run it, because he's a real dick, that Antonio Brown. He's on the Patriots now. There's a huge conspiracy theory that guy intentionally fucked over and acted crazy so that the Raiders would drop him, so that the Patriots would pick him up.
I don't follow sports at all, and I don't know what I'm
not
heard.
even paying attention.
I've
but
heard
it's-
about. I've heard about this man. I don't even know what's going on.
So
I know he's part of the Patriots. I know some Patriots left because of him. Right? Didn't some people quit?
well, here's what I understand. A little bit of American football for you. This guy, Antonio Brown, he's an incredible receiver. He was on a team called the Pittsburgh Steelers, had a really bad run-in with them. He wanted to be traded to the Patriots, but the Patriots and the Steelers are in the same conference.
Yeah.
So the Steelers are like, fuck that. We're not handing you over to someone who could potentially be really good against us. So they traded him over to the Raiders, which is part of a different conference. He acted like a real crazy person. He went and did cryotherapy and got frostbite on his foot. He refused to upgrade his helmet. He wanted a 10-year-old helmet. They're like, no, you could get really injured. He's like, I want my helmet. And he like went to war over it. And then he posted this illegally recorded phone conversation that he had with his coach and the GM.
That's right.
And they're like, even then they're like, maybe we could just have him play at least one game, maybe. They didn't want to let him go. Finally, like, fuck it, we cut him loose, and within hours, the Patriots had picked him up.
Interesting.
So everyone was like, dun, 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 conspiracy. They signed to a 1-year contract. Everyone's like, what the fuck?
Are you a sports guy? Because I don't. All of that bored the shit out of me.
I'll watch sports.
Yeah.
I love my certain teams: Perth Heat, Fremantle Dockers. I like the Cubs.
Yeah.
I will watch it, but I won't follow it. I don't know any players' names. I don't know the coach's name. I don't, care where they are on the ladder. I just enjoy watching the sport.
Okay.
So I went Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday I went and watched the Sox play.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
So that was a good experience.
You have packed a shit ton in, man.
I have.
Wow.
Considering I spent a day hungover on Monday.
Nice.
Just
Fair
laid in the hostel for like 16 hours.
Nice.
And I watched the Jets play on Sunday.
That's
Okay.
cool.
But I did get a bit shit-faced and wasn't paying attention.
Where were you that you got shit faced?
The country club out in Wrigleyville.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to those guys.
Nice.
They got me well wasted.
That's so
I
cool.
assume it's easy to get wasted. Like, people probably just want you around with your accent
Yeah,
and everything.
so Steve from the River Universe
Yeah.
definitely wanted to get me wasted, so he gave me a 40 ounce. And then I had about a third of it left, and he was giving me a bit of shit for it, so I sculled the rest. Then he bought me this cocktail, which just tasted like lemonade, but apparently is definitely not lemonade. And then I had a picture of, I don't know, whatever one of your shit beers are.
Like
I don't-
Budweiser.
Bud Light.
Bud Light?
I think, yeah.
That makes sense.
And then there was a cute girl challenging me to drink that, so I did. Because I make good life choices.
You do.
Because when
I'm
there's
on
a
holiday, it
cha-
doesn't
That's
matter.
amazing.
I'm the Marty McFly of challenging to drink beer. You challenge me to drink it, I'll do it.
And then right after that, we went to a batting cage. There
Yeah,
are
sluggers.
photos of me in the batting cage. I don't remember the batting cage.
That's fair.
Chris and Steve reckon I hit a few balls.
Nice.
No idea.
Nice. Very cool.
Getting drunk, like getting hammered while on holiday is always like
Oh, you're going to call it that now? You're just going to call it on holiday now that he's here?
getting hammered, Jarryd, while on holiday.
Do you understand the
Ignore
phrase hammered? Is that something
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys know?
Yeah, get maggot.
God, we can't fucking win, Justin.
I know. Blottoed? You know blottoed?
Yeah. We don't use it, but yeah.
Blagojevich. How about that one? Blagojevich? Anybody? No?
You don't know to be Blagojevich?
No.
Oh.
I feel like you guys are making shit up.
We got him. No, that was our governor that's in jail now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Corruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I was in Boston. I got blackout drunk when I was in Boston, and I always wake up regretting it because I was like, this could have ended terribly for me because different city I don't know. I'm by myself. Like every time it hasn't happened a lot, but the times it has happened, I've always been like, that was the dumbest. I'll never do it again, and it always seems to happen again. Like, do you find the same thing? Like, were you regretful for the night before?
No, so this time was fine because
Okay.
I was with Chris and Steve
Sure,
and I trust
yeah.
them, as much as you can for strangers you met on the internet. But I'd hung out with them already, so it was fine. My ex and I went to the Moulin Rouge in Paris on
Okay.
our last night in Paris. We went for the 11 o'clock session.
Jesus.
We went out before that, had a few drinks, had some drinks at the hotel, then went and they give you a whole bottle of champagne. I got completely shit-faced. We had to be up at like 4 a.m.
Ugh.
to get ready for the plane.
That's the worst.
So that could have ended really, really badly.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter anyway. Our flight was delayed because our plane got struck by lightning. So
That's random.
as you do.
Yeah.
But that could have been really bad because
Yeah.
we were really drunk. Paris, in the very touristy areas, they speak English, but outside of that, there's a lot of fucking French, and I'm not good
Shocker.
at French.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking foreigners learn English.
Am I right? This
Uh,
guy gets it.
So we've got Sven forgo this login.
Sven made it.
Yes,
I think
he
it's my
said.
Sven.
So I created a new account for this. Hey, Urbas.
Hi, Sven.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Do we have Little Eggy, or is she fucking sleeping?
Little Eggy is not here, but
Damn it,
Mr.
Liz.
Tex of the Black Pants Legion just hopped in and said,
Oh.
"Hey, it's Tex of the Black Pants Legion, and Chris Evans is on your show." Oh wait, that's another guy. He thought you looked like Chris Evans.
Captain America?
Fuck, I'll
Not
take
bad.
that. I'll take it.
Let's see. Little Eggy says Jarrod's audience can confirm that he drinks a lot.
Thanks, Liz. Yeah, she would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that there was, I was going through.
Oh, sorry. He meant Rich Evans, not Chris Evans.
Rich Evans? I don't even know who that is.
His cousin.
Is that the race car driver? Yeah. I was looking, the thing that I couldn't wrap my head around for a while. There's one picture you have posted on Instagram of a Texas smokehouse in Perth.
Yeah.
And on the beer list, I saw Budweiser, and it was $8. And I was like, I was talking with Haig about this because he was like, "Well, do you know what?" He goes, "Do we even know what Jarryd looks like?" And I was like, "Of course we do. We're friends with him on social medias." And we looked at that, and he's like, "Why the fuck are they charging $8 for a fucking Budweiser?" And then we both dawned on us, it's an import.
And what a shitty one at
Like
that. Says the guy who's never drank it.
So we are so sorry that you guys have to deal with Budweiser as an import.
That's not even an expensive beer. That's
$8?
$8. That's standard.
Really?
Yeah, we get ripped off.
You really do.
So
what's this? Like, what's the
Australia
standard
has
beer?
like a
What's a
huge
Foster's?
tax and fucking Foster's. It's not a real beer.
Do you not like it?
It's an English beer.
Is
they
it
just
really?
market it as Australian.
I did not know. That makes sense. My uncle's English and he loves Foster's. That makes sense now.
Yeah,
I just thought he was a fan of Australian beer.
Yeah, no, it's full of shit.
I had no idea.
I think most Aussies, our like iconic beer is like VB, Victoria Bitter,
Okay.
or Emu Export, which we also call Bush Chook.
Bush chuck?
Bush Chook.
Bush chook.
Because a chook is a chicken,
Okay.
and a bush chook is an emu. Because a big chicken that lives out
They
in
look
the
like
bush.
a bush. They live in the bush.
You're a bush
They
joke.
do actually look like a bush.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
fluffy.
But I think like a pint is around the $9 mark anyway. So
Jesus, man, that's like going out and getting. Well, I look at you as if I'm like, right, Doug?
Man, I tell
That's
you,
like-
it sure is tough. when
That's
you're-
honestly, that's like going out and getting like a craft beer around here. That's ridiculous.
yeah, and then
That's
craft
normal
beer is
prices.
expensive. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that's not even a craft.
So
beer,
I
guys.
bought
Yeah.
I bought a handle of rum, which for those back home is like nearly 2 liters, and it comes with a fucking handle. A handle of rum. That's an insane idea for $20 at Sam's Club in Indiana. $20. That's 30 Australian or 30. I think 32 Australian maybe.
But still, what would something like that cost in Australia?
That's about $80 worth of rum.
Is it really?
Yeah, because that's two of the 700ml bottles, and they're about 40, 45 each.
Jesus, man.
Well, plus also Sam's Club is a real treat. It's like Costco where you can buy stuff in bulk. I mean, I go to Costco now. I've got a membership because I'm a kind of a big deal.
You know, I don't want to brag, but
I don't want to brag, but $60 for the entire year, I can afford it. But yeah, I mean, I go and I bought like this thing of fruit snacks that will last us until the end of time. Natalie will probably be driving, and we'll still have fruit snacks left in the house. I bought a giant jar of M&Ms. I'm like, well, we don't need M&Ms for a while. Like, it's insane. What you can buy for like at those bulk stores.
I have not been to one of those bulk stores in a while, but when we were in high school, my mom used to shop there all the time. We had, I think it was Sam's Club, and I think I don't think there's a Sam's Club in the city. There's a Costco in the city, but not a Sam's Club. But yeah, like to get an industrial like pallet of toilet paper, I just don't know how much are you pooping to need that.
No, that's the thing is,
That's
it's just
insane.
like, well, I just bought some toilet paper and paper towels and stuff recently. I was like, well, I won't need to come back here for a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where you buy it and you're like, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good for a while. We don't need anything else.
I cannot imagine that the bulk concept flies in Australia. Just because everything would have to be so. If you buy that much of something,
I think we're getting there.
Really? Okay.
So I think the eastern states have a Costco now. Maybe one, maybe two.
okay.
And we're rumored to get one eventually. They've got like a building near the airport that's apparently meant to be a Costco, but they're still waiting on the licensing and they're getting that shit past the government. So, because obviously we have a lot of import taxes and different rules and regulations and stuff. But Coles, one of our big supermarkets, tried recently. They did a trial of bulk things, and I remember I was talking to you about the unicorn Fruit Loops.
Yes.
Or the unicorn cereal.
Here
but
it was just unicorn cereal. There it was marketed as unicorn Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that came in a 1.3 kilo box. So the box is about that big.
A massive box.
It's a big box. And yeah, that was I think it was $13 because it was $1 for every 100 grams, which was cheap.
Can you imagine buying cereal for Natalie that cost $13 a box?
I mean, at Costco, sure, I got two 1-pound boxes of Cheerios for like $8. So we're set on Cheerios until she turns 16 also. So we're good. We're good there.
Yeah, I think I'm halfway through that box. And
Are you really?
that was a couple months ago.
Do you regret buying it? That's the true question.
No, because I got it half price.
Hey!
So it was $6.50, so that was a good
That's
deal.
amazing.
It's way too much. I'm probably going to throw it out because it's probably going to go stale
Yeah.
before I finish it.
That's also the thing. Because I was looking at stuff over there recently, and I was like, oh, it would be great. I would love this 60-pack of brats. But I'm like, it'll go bad by the time I get to all of them. Where it's like, you can buy all this fruit. I'm like, hey, how about this 15? Jesus. Well, if you heard that nastiness came out of my mouth.
That was a treat for all the people watching on Twitch.
It was,
Just emptying the cum dumpster.
which is my mouth. Well played, sir.
You are truly one of us now.
I was like, do I want a 15-pound bag of potatoes? I was like, I like making potatoes, but I don't need that much.
Sure, yeah.
By the way, Sven said Costco will be opening in Perth in like 6 months. So
There we go.
You can't stop progress.
Sven's on the local council. He knows.
Sven knows shit.
Sven knows shit,
Tell us what else you know, Sven.
What else is going on with the Council of Commerce? Sven, let us know. mindgappodcast@gmail.com. Keep us posted.
I could not believe though, like the amount of like blandness that was the cereal aisle when you tweeted that picture. Like, did you see that picture when he tweeted? It was just like there was like 4 cereals, and that was it. Like, and so like when he's like, when I see your guys' aisles, it's just like
It's insane.
This cornucopia of wonderment. Like, it's just amazing.
Should we have that many cereals though?
No, there's no way we should have
Yes.
them. Are you a cereal? Like, are you
I
a big
love cereal.
Really? Okay.
I got 2 boxes, so I held myself back. I only took 2. So I bought Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows.
That's a thing.
I didn't know they had that.
And I think I got Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Nice.
But I was like, that looks healthy, but also diabetic.
It's
It
very
is
much not healthy.
Not healthy. Most of our cereal is not healthy.
Was that here that you bought it?
Yeah,
your
I
household,
bought
yeah.
that at Maya in Fort Wayne.
Sure, yeah.
Because I didn't want to buy anything at Sam's Club because it'd be too big.
It'll last you a while. They could have a cereal party,
Yeah. Well, there's a place in the UK that is called the Serial Killer Cafe. It's a great name. Obviously
Nice.
spelt with a C.
Yeah.
And they do like American cereals, and you can mix and match and put them with like different flavored milks, and you go like the dining area is all like children's beds. Mm-hmm. So like those old 90s ones where they're like the pipes and stuff.
This sounds unbelievably creepy. The way
It
you're
does.
describing.
It's called the Serial Killer Cafe.
Well, that's fair.
But it's like this 90s nostalgia kind of thing. They've got like these limited edition boxes up on the walls. They've got like all these things. And it was so delicious to go there and just be like, oh, I can just have all these things. And it was so cheap because obviously the import is less there than it is back home.
Yeah.
Because here, some of the cereal I bought for $2 is about $20 back home.
Jesus
Goodness gracious.
Christ.
Wow.
We get ripped off.
What's crazy about the Serial Killer Cafe also is that when it's someone's birthday, Bob Brisket comes out personally and takes them back to the birthday room,
Right.
and celebrates birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Is it your birthday? No. Well, according to the registry that I have here, it is your birthday.
Bob just pulls up this registry.
Every day is your birthday.
It's us. It's gonna be someone's birthday today. I'll tell you that much.
Bob travels.
Blow my candle.
Make a wish. Make my wish.
I wish I wasn't here.
Mine came true.
Bob travels a lot. He gets around, man.
Well, there's a lot of heat on him. You got to keep moving.
That's
so.
true. You can't just stay in
But
one
at the same
spot.
time, he's very entrepreneurial. He comes up with, sometimes you got to hide in plain sight. Serial Killer Cafe.
Right. That's a very good point.
It is.
Yeah. Different types of milk, you said?
Yeah, so like chocolate milk, strawberry milk.
Okay.
Goat's milk, cat's
Yeah,
milk.
you could get weird fucking milk too.
Yeah. Yak's milk.
Sax milk.
Breast milk.
That was waiting for who was going to say it.
I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, they
One
all
of us was going to go there.
they all come from breasts.
Yeah.
So there
What
you
is
go.
your favorite type of cereal?
Ooh, it kind of depends. Like I've kind of stopped having breakfast.
Really?
Yeah. I try to eat less.
It's the most important meal of the day.
Yeah, says
That has
who?
been proven false.
Who said that? Huh?
My mom.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's
never
the
mind.
authority.
I'm back on that camp now.
The Illuminati.
Not gonna go against Jared's
all
mom.
part of the stonemasons trying to get you to buy for the globalists. Yeah, when I tried doing keto, they're like, yeah, I try to do like intermittent fasting.
Okay.
So I would eat dinner and then not eat for like 16 hours. So I usually was skipping breakfast. Seemed to help quite a bit. But when I did have cereal, I wavered. Like there was a time where I like Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch for a while. I mean, when I was younger, Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, Cocoa Rice Krispies. There was a s'mores one for a while I was into. Actually, it was like chocolate, had chocolate covered graham crackers with marshmallows.
That sounds really good.
Golden grams.
So really, you just liked all cereals.
Yeah,
is
most
what
of
is
them
what I'm hearing.
with sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were delicious growing up. And to think that I would eat Pop-Tarts for breakfast at one point, I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? Pop-Tarts, nothing but
Do you have
sugar.
Pop-Tarts over there?
Yeah, they brought Pop-Tarts back.
Okay.
But normally we buy them import because we only had like one flavor.
Yeah.
Now, was it the brown sugar one without any frosting on it?
No, it was I think the chocolate-filled one.
Okay.
Just the plain chocolate.
Yeah. I went through a Pop-Tart phase in college.
Oh, yeah.
Like I had boxes of them.
Of course.
Yeah.
Costco has giant boxes of Pop-Tarts.
That makes sense.
I was like, Jesus Christ, like, look at this thing. I was like, how many are in here? It's crazy.
Yeah, that tracks.
That's a good story, I know. Full of them tonight. But that's the one thing about Costco, though, is if you want variety, you're not going to get it. You're going to get your base level stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh, I want to go over here and see if I can find Squirt soda. Nope. It's Coke, Pepsi, Diet Coke, Sprite, and
nothing artisanal.
if you're lucky, you get Coke Zero or some shit like that. But that's it. You know, like you don't get anything really fancy with it. So as long as you like having the basics, it works out really well.
I still just disagree with the need for buying that much in bulk.
It just depends. Like, okay, now look, when I go and see the giant pallets and bags of confectioner's sugar, I'm like, okay, this is for someone who's a baker, right?
Sure, I guess if you're buying it industrial.
If you have to put the bag of rice over your shoulder like this to go like, we're good on rice for a while, it's like, how much rice are you eating, man? Like if it's a small business or something. Yeah. But for me, I look at it like, what can I buy that's not going to go bad, that's going to last a while? Kitty litter, cat food, diapers. I'm like, Jesus, why weren't we going here when Natalie was a kid, was a baby? My God, I could have bought this stuff in bulk. It would have been so much better. Sometimes, like if you're having a party or something, like I went and bought some awesome steaks from there the other day. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna the chicken. You can buy a pack of. It was like 7 pounds of chicken. It was like $2.88 a pound. I'm like, I have chicken. I'll freeze this stuff. I'll get some of it out for later, and then it'll be good to go. And you can have that for a while. You can really live off it.
I don't know. I feel like I've been kind of taking a look back at like how much consuming and things like that, and like I feel like those kind of stores are just a bad. They just promote like a bad mindset of like you need a lot of something. Like I feel like there was a time when you bought what you needed, and then when that was done, you would go out and buy more. And it was just like you would use what you had, and then you would go out and get more. I just feel like it's almost promoting this really weird sense of like I feel like if I say consumerism, it's very I feel like I should be a talking head on a fucking political show, but I feel like it's promoting this weird sense of consumerism.
Well, you think I'm not going to get through all those rolls of toilet paper, Justin? Because I am. You think I'm not going to get through all that cat litter? I will.
Yeah, but why do you need to buy that much of it? Couldn't you buy 6 rolls and then once you're down to 1 or 2 left?
It's more cost effective. I get more per roll to buy in bulk than I do going to the local store and buying a pack of 6 as opposed to a pack of 30.
Maybe.
No, I'm pretty sure the math adds up that it's actually cheaper to buy in bulk.
If you are buying that much of something that you're getting that much of a saving, again, I think we're back to my initial point.
That I'm going to go for one trip and buy 30 rolls of diarrhea-saving toilet paper, and I'm going to use all of them, and then when I'm done, I'm going to go back and buy 30 more as opposed to making trips and paying more per roll to make multiple trips.
Look, we can focus on the toilet paper, but my point is a much broader point.
I'd rather focus on the diarrhea.
That you, of course, you would. That you are completely tanking, and it's consumerism in and of itself. I think it's just we are hitting a critical mass point of consuming things.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I think stuff like Costco, and it's actually, I'd be curious to see how like the general ecosystem of Australia handles like more bulk stores and stuff coming in like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see, because we've recently launched like this big campaign, the Face Your Waste, which is about buying less at the shops and only what you need, so less gets thrown out.
Sure.
But then at the same time, we're bringing in the bulk stores now,
which seems very counterintuitive.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I prefer to buy less myself, but I'm a single guy that lives at home, and I'm often not at home, so I'm often eating somewhere else.
Sure.
So it's a little different for me than it is for, say, a family of like 6 kids, and then you got to buy in bulk and all that. So I can see like the point in buying bulk, but buying less is for me.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like, I don't want to tell anyone that they're wrong, but
no, not at all. I think
go ahead.
This is your last step.
This is your platform.
Fuck you people, you're wrong.
This is your last step to becoming
Don't
a
have
true
6 kids.
Right. Becoming a true
Agreed.
American. You need to tell people when they're wrong.
Yeah, right.
Embrace it.
I guess where I'm at a disconnect with you is that I think we're saying the same thing. I'm just, for me, it's I would never buy something that I knew was going to go to waste. So like I wouldn't buy
Like the 2 pounds of Cheerios.
Yeah.
Was that necessary?
The
Like could you buy just a thing of like a box of Cheerios? Like, are you going to burn through that quick that you need a pound of Cheerios?
When we bought it, yeah, we were going through.
Judging the
No.
Using it as an example.
No, that's a perfect example. When we bought it, I was like, we were going through them like crazy. And I was like, well, and she's slowed down now, of course, but you know, for something that could possibly go stale or go bad, I'm always like, nah. Unless I'm having a party or something, I'm not going to buy the massive bag of chips.
Sure.
You know, or I'm not going to go and buy.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
big bag of chips. And
Hold
dip,
on
like,
now.
yeah.
Hold on. Or like, hey, here's was it like 36 eggs.
Right.
I was like, no, I don't need 36 eggs. I'm not making 4 omelets or however many, you know, like we were talking about earlier.
The Chicago breakfast.
Exactly. But for something like toilet paper that won't go bad,
Yeah.
or paper towels or something like that, or cat litter or stuff that I'm going to use and I will be continually to be using, for me it makes more sense to buy a large amount of that. It'll be cheaper to buy it all in that amount, and then I don't have to buy that for a while, versus like, fuck it, I'm at Costco, let's get 3 pizzas. Right. You know, I don't give a shit. I mean, they'll go bad because you can't freeze them. I don't know what universe we're in where you can't freeze pizza, but a bad one. But it's like, or you know, whatever you're gonna buy, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy all this sort of shit just because it's a deal. Because I know people that are like, will buy shit.
Right.
I know someone who moved, and I shit you not, had, what was it? The amount of gallons of ice cream that they had in their freezer was upwards of 10, beyond 10. Yes. It was either pints or gallons, which either way, no one understands the metric there. It's a lot. But this person, whenever there's a sale, regardless of whether or not they need it, could be like, buy 2 cans of mustard, get a third one free. They're like, let's get it. It's like, how often do we use mustard? Well, it's a deal.
Right.
We gotta buy it. That's the
I'm saving money.
That's the consumerism I don't like.
I agree. Yes, I agree. I just think that I would like to. I understand, like, if you're using more toilet paper and more like stuff that doesn't go bad. I do get that. And if you have like a family of 6 kids or something, you may need to buy 36 eggs. You know,
just stop.
Right.
I don't think we'd say that.
Or don't buy those. Let some of the kids starve. It's survival of the fittest. You know,
let the kids eat each other.
Right. We're doing the Lord's work. But I do think that it's something that we need to. That needs to kind of be taken into consideration when like these type of stores, because again, like with Australia, it's interesting that you guys launched this campaign, but also are bringing in big box or like big bulk stores. You know, it's I feel like that's like 2 ends of the dichotomy.
How else are you going to pay for the schools, Justin?
True.
Corporate taxes. I like the idea of face your waste, because I think that's something we don't.
I think we need that desperately here.
Because we're like, cool. I mean, you can probably. I don't know what it's like in Perth, but in Chicago, there's a lot of waste around the side of the road and whatnot. I've seen people pull up to a stoplight, open up their door, drop a bag of McDonald's, and close the door. And I'm like, motherfucker,
drives me nuts.
How dare you? I've come on the train and just seen garbage stuff. I walked up to do the podcast a couple weeks ago, and there was like an entire meal of Chick-fil-A sprawled out on the stairs. I'm like, okay, that could have been someone just dropped it, but I'm like, we're just gonna leave this here?
Right.
Gee, I wonder why we have rats, you know? Like, what the fuck?
So my first day, I was walking to the hostel, and someone went to go to a bin, and it was like blocked off for some reason. I don't know why. And right in front of the traffic cop, she just dropped her rubbish and said to the traffic cop, "Oh, the bin's blocked." And the traffic cop was just like, "Yeah, that makes sense." That's a fine. You get fined for littering.
Thank you. That's the kind of thing though. Like, and then shame on that cop, like for not going like, no, that's not what we're doing here. You know?
Yeah, and you guys have bins on every block. It's not like
right.
Well,
Yeah.
Mostly,
yeah.
When you're in London, there's like no bins because everyone was bombing the bins. So that was a pain in the ass. I was carrying rubbish in my pockets because I
good for
can't
you.
stand littering. But
Yeah, same.
it got really annoying by the end of the day. I'm like, what's all this shit?
Yeah.
I used to be the same. Like I used to litter when I was like in college. I didn't think anything of it, and then and then I realized like just how fucking dumb that was because I think it was someone said I threw something out the window and they go, "Where do you think that goes?" And I went, I guess I've never been questioned about this before. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh man, I'm a fucking idiot. And so now like I'll watch someone, they'll come out of McDonald's, they'll unwrap their burger and they'll just drop the wrapper. And I was like, where do you think that goes? What is going through your mind that you're just like, someone else's problem, not my problem?
I watched an exchange happen one night. I was waiting for Jill to get out of her office, and I watched this lady. She had a Subway, sandwich. She took it out of the plastic wrapping, dropped the plastic wrapping, and kept walking. And the woman behind her picked it up and goes, I could tell from the body language and stuff, like, I think you dropped this. And the person who dropped it got very aggressive with the person who called them out. And she basically was like, mind your own fucking business. And I was like, hey, that's yours.
Right.
Fucking throw it away. I was so pissed. And
Right.
it's like the person who was calling them out got shamed.
Which is just
Shamed
insane.
for calling the person out for dropping their shit. I was like, how? I have a theory that's just because in cities like this, because you're around people all the time, you get desensitized to it.
Yeah.
To the point where people just act however they want to act because they're like, fuck it, I'm never going to see this person again. And you sort of lose connection with human beings even though you're around them all the time. And people just sort of like, it's just this mass of life that you're like, whatever, fuck it. And people just do what they want. They'll play their music on their fucking speakers on their phone. I'm like, I wish I just had headphones I could just hand to people and be like, plug it in. Do us all a favor.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear your shit. All that sort of stuff. It drives me nuts, and I don't miss it. I do not miss living in the city. It
happens far more in the city because you've got a lot of people packed around. But like I grew up in the suburbs. Mm-hmm. It is not the land of the innocent out there either.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, people put rocks in front of the yards to let people know that they're swingers.
That's true.
If they have a rock in their yard, it's like, hey, come on.
We learned that. Yeah.
We're down to fuck.
You guys got that in Australia?
Do you mark it
You got in any yards? I know.
Throw a rock in the yard, you're like, I'm down to root. You're welcome.
Or is it like you impale a snake in your front yard, and it's like that's the sign? It's like, cool, virile right here.
Fucking happens here.
Right. We get down to business. I murdered this beast. This is my kill. Now let's root. I took it Scottish. Root. Are you down for a rootin' tootin' time?
So no then?
We just have rocks because they look nice.
Sven said, pretty sure the environment is everyone's business. Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely.
Couldn't agree
100% agree. There's the one thing that I will say that happens in the suburbs far more than it happens in the city is I've seen people, they'll come face to face and they will just start yelling at each other. Like there's a lot of aggression in the suburbs.
It's been on my block.
You've seen that.
I've seen it on my block.
And where I grew up, there used to be a term for that when the people would just get like right in each other's faces.
Is there one for this in Australian?
Yeah, I think we call it a throw down under.
Throw down on under. I love it.
Yes.
I waited so long for that.
Yes, the throw down under.
Yes.
My dreams have
That's
enriched.
That's it, man. So today we're doing a very special throwdown. It's a themed throwdown.
Good.
for you.
I'm surprised.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
No.
So we're going to do, it's a 3-way throwdown.
Ooh.
Yes. And we're doing one Mr. Hugh Jackman versus one Mr. Russell Crowe versus one Mr. Mel Gibson.
Ooh.
And we're talking all three of them in their prime.
Okay, good. I was
so
like,
we're talking like Hugh Jackman in probably either Days of Future Past.
Yeah, he's pretty ripped for that one.
Or like the Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Also ripped for that one.
We're talking Russell Crowe in Gladiator, of
Okay.
course, and we're talking Mel Gibson like second or third Mad Max.
Okay. Not Mel Gibson post-divorce.
No. We're not talking about the Beaver Mel Gibson.
Because I put my money on that guy.
You know what? Mel Gibson just all around.
Like, that guy at that point, you'd be like, you want to dance? Let's dance!
So, what do we think?
So where are they fighting?
Oh, great. Well, I think the Outback, obviously. An
Yeah.
Outback Steakhouse.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
On the
Outback
back,
steak.
In the kitchen
next
of
to
an Outback Steakhouse.
next to the cum dumpster.
Right, exactly.
So they're fighting over a blooming onion.
Of course,
It's
naturally.
not a thing.
I'm sure it's not.
Not a thing.
Your onions don't bloom down there?
Isn't that what
My
Chicago's
childhood-
called? Not to
blooming
tangent. Aren't you guys named after an onion or something? Flowering onion? Or...
The Windy City?
No, Chicago. It's like a Native American
Oh,
word.
maybe.
They've told me it like a million times on every tour I've gone on. I
That
should
makes
know.
sense.
Something onion.
That makes sense.
Look, there's a lot of layers to
We've got
Chicago.
layers.
Boom. Boom. It's also stinky. And I hate it.
It's gross.
Because it's a fucking onion.
So no, I would say, God, where are we gonna put them? I thought maybe putting them like in the shallows, and if they get pushed too far out, there's just a line of great white sharks waiting to eat them.
They're all just
And
like,
if they get pushed too far inland, there's just everything else waiting to eat them.
Saltwater crocodiles.
And then there's that.
that too.
So let's put them on a beach. They're on a beach.
They're trying
in
to
Australia.
relax.
Yeah, they're trying to relax.
It's been just grueling shooting schedules.
Absolutely,
with these
yeah.
movies, and they're out there, they're sun tanning and everything like that. And I think what happens is Russell Crowe is a bit pissed. He's right? Is that how you say it? He's pissed. Had some beers.
Yeah. He's
Right,
watching
yeah.
the Rabbitohs game.
There we go. The Rabbitohs.
Yep.
And
He either wants to root or fight.
yeah, and he won't take no for an answer.
Right.
And he trips over He trips over Hugh Jackman and Mel Gibson just are suntanning next to each other.
Right.
You know?
Or he trips over Hugh Jackman, falls into the sand, and pushes sand on top of Mel Gibson.
Yeah. And then he gets up and he calls him, dodgy
cunt.
He calls him
Or a dog cunt.
He calls him a back to fronter.
Right, back to fronter.
And they're like, "What? Who are you talking about?" And like they get confused on who he's talking about, but it escalates very quickly between all of them. They're all sweaty and oiled up. Mostly Russell Crowe's sweaty from drinking, but the other two are sweaty because it's nice outside. So, I just think that's an important detail.
Absolutely,
They're
yeah.
sweaty.
Hugh Jackman's just always oiled, too.
Okay, so Mel was on the phone to his daughter, probably abusing her again.
Yep.
And then so Russell grabs it, right, and throws it at Hugh Jackman. And he misses. But comes back like a boomerang.
Because Australia.
Yeah. Because that's how all our throws work.
That's why they...
Smacks him in the back of the head. Hugh's head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hugh's on the ground now.
Okay.
Little bit out of it. Let's
All
go
right.
from there.
Okay.
So Hugh's out of it, and then so we've got... So now, seeing this... I'm going to try to remember which one threw what. Okay, so
Russell's the instigator
it.
here. That's all you got to know.
Yeah.
Mel had the phone taken. So seeing that happen, the phone broke when it hit Hugh's head. So now Mel Gibson is just infuriated because how is he going to berate his daughter anymore? So he comes just full on charging at Russell Crowe.
But that's what Russell wanted.
Right.
He wants this. He's prepared for it. Uppercut.
Flat out. Lays him out.
He's ready. He wanted.
Right.
He's like,
Now, Mel Gibson notoriously has just a glass jaw.
Mm-hmm.
We know this.
so his head explodes like
Right.
in Scanners.
Yeah.
Dead.
Dead.
Next. All right.
So-
So then Hugh Jackman gets up and dusts himself off and he goes, "Argh!" But no claws come out because
Yeah.
that's a movie.
Exactly. And Russell laughs at him, but the thing is, I just want to call him Wolverine. That's not his name. Hugh Jackman. See, Russell Crowe's a brawler,
Right.
right? Jackman has expertise. can't verify
He's got that dancer background.
He does. He's nimble. He's
the
agile.
boy from Oz.
Exactly. And while he has berserker rage,
Yes.
He also controls his environment much better. So I feel like he doesn't take Russell's bait. And in fact, he starts goading him, calling him a back-to-fronter, you know. He's like, your mom's a dog cunt, you know, and all that sort of stuff.
All the things.
All the things. And he's like, there's no more beer in this country. And that sends Russell over the edge. Russell's like, no! And then he
Lies!
Yeah, exactly. And he comes at Hugh, and Hugh is ready for him, right?
Right.
And he had dug a sand trap filled with spikes.
Well, I was going to say, Hugh has fashioned a spike out of his stick, and it's in the sand. And so as soon as Russell gets close enough, he picks that thing up and just runs him through.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, so Russell Crowe drops to his knees. He's taken down. Hugh Jackman just walks over, snaps his neck, and goes, "Are you not entertained?"
So we're saying Hugh Jackman for the win.
Hugh Jackman for the win.
Hugh Jackman for the win!
Oh my God, that was so much fun.
That was
Totally has
amazing.
nothing to do with him kind of being a Perth boy. I mean, I don't think...
Love it.
He's not from Perth, but he studied in Perth.
Close
That's where he
enough.
studied all his acting.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's why he's so good, because good things come out of Perth.
Yeah, the best.
Right.
The best.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's where the best Joker came from. Heath
Yes.
Ledger.
Ah, right. Although
We
this
don't
next
know
movie,
it yet,
Well,
but we know it.
this next movie's getting quite the accolades from the film festivals.
I want to, before we're done here, I want to hear your American accent.
My American accent.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Say
the
Olive
Review
Garden.
Universe boys asked for it, and I couldn't do it on the spot. But then walking afterwards, I was like, oh, fuck, I got it.
I got it now,
I did
yeah.
it when I was drunk.
Uh,
I can do it now.
Say Olive Garden.
That's just me.
You can't make me say that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I feel like, you know, some people have phrases like knife, not like, or like,
Forgot about it.
yeah, or whatever they have. They have a word or something.
I'm
that gets,
walking here. Olive Garden.
That's everything.
I love it.
One Get Podcast. Now that was weird.
It's all right.
Now
Welcome
you've
to
just
my
got a-
world. Welcome
you've
to
just
my
got a
world.
cold now. Bugga pupga.
They're suddenly like Pakistani. This is insulting everyone now.
So, do you say? I don't know. What, like, if you were to tell me where you're going to go after this?
Home.
Okay. You're gonna tell me more detail about it. Like in America, you're gonna walk out of the bar, gonna walk down the street, go back to my hostel.
In an American accent?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So for the people
You
not
made it so much harder.
the people not watching on Twitch right now, he's getting into it. He's mouthing the words, trying to feel the how he's gonna
It's
hold
like,
his, yeah.
I've got
I don't know
diabetes,
how to...
early onset cardiomyopathy. I don't walk much.
Fuck. Now you put me on this. And again, I'll walk out later and be like, "Oh, I got this."
They got, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
He's
pressure.
gonna narrate walking home to himself and go,
Gonna
"Fuck,
walk-
I could have done this."
I'm gonna walk along the sidewalk to my hostel. That went Kiwi. A chili bin.
Can you try putting a southern accent on it?
7.
like a real deep
I
southern?
can
Because
do
a lot of people can
Cletus.
yeah, slack jaw.
Hey, Ma, get off the dang roof.
There you go.
That's
I'm
it.
gonna walk home to the hostel
Nice.
and take a nap.
Nice.
There you go.
That was wonderful.
That was it. Very well done. Very well done.
Now Justin will do Australian, but he's going to talk about his HR policy at work.
Thing about me HR policy at work
Jesus.
is there are none. Is me
Already
work.
makes mine.
Me work is a joke. Doug,
What do you want?
talk about the recipe to make bread.
See here, the first thing you want to do is you want to put the flour in the pot. All right.
Do they have Cockney accents in Australia?
And then you put
Almost.
some dry yeast into the. It's about. Fuck, guys, I don't know. I got nothing.
Well done,
I
everyone.
can scream it. How about that? Is that an accent?
You go ahead and grab this.
Let me go just
Yeah.
turn you off. Just scream it. Yeah, that's all I got. Jarryd, this has been fucking fantastic. Thank you so much for being our guest.
Yeah.
It stands to say that you are always welcome to come back.
Slightly
And join
longer
us.
for you to get here, but
Yeah. It might be a wait.
And if for some reason Mind Gap goes, on a we head on to a remote podcast,
right,
maybe
if
from
we
Perth,
do a road show.
a road show, we would love to stop in and say hi again. But thank you so much for being a part and being a guest. And is there anything you got going on, or any show or anything like that you'd recommend to folks?
So there's a place in Fort Wayne called Sweet So Geek, which
Okay.
you guys would like because it's a dessert restaurant.
Nice.
And it's all like geek themed.
Oh,
so
cool.
Nerdy stuff.
I'm into it.
You can find them on Facebook, Sweet So Geek.
All right.
So just to slow it down in case anyone's struggling with my accent, it's Sweets So Geek.
And that's S-O, not S-O-R. Sweets So Geek.
Yeah. So they do a monthly like themed menu. So when I was there, it was Batman.
No, nice.
And so like each menu items themed around Batman.
That's so cool.
That's
I
like-
had the
Like cupcakes, ice cream, things like that?
yeah.
or-
So like there's a Batarang donut. And,
Cool.
Alfred's mud cake and there was a Joker
Bruce's
ice cream
dead
they
parents.
made for it that was green and purple.
That's awesome.
And then every month they show a movie in their car park. What do you guys call it? Parking lot.
Parking lot.
Sure.
We should have done that one.
Yeah, those ones. And nappy. Do you know what nappy is? That's a diaper.
Thank
Dummy,
you for saying that.
pacifier.
Yeah.
I thought of so many afterwards.
Oh, gotcha.
I would like to find like 2 that you don't know.
How about-
I feel like we.
How about Cricker?
There's someone that hangs out by the creek,
That's right.
and a creek's a creek.
That's right.
He listens too much to the show.
He knows.
You guys forget I used to listen for 8 hours a day at my old job. I had 150
created-
episodes to catch up on.
Created a monster.
Nice. Very good. Justin, what do
Yes.
you got?
Finish The Boys.
Yes.
Highly recommend that. Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah, but I haven't got it yet, so I'm watching it when I get home.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm gonna
man,
just
that was
marathon it with a free
great.
30-day subscription.
Oh, it's fantastic. You'll
There
kill
you
it in
go.
no time.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So highly recommend that along with you. I recommend you too. And then, there's a graphic novel called Seconds, and it's by the guy who wrote Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Okay.
I think that was a graphic novel before it was the film, and it's very unique. I did not think I was going to like it when I originally picked it up. I had someone at work recommend it to. They were talking to me about it. I came in the next day and it was on my desk. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess I'm committed to this. And I started reading it and I was like, you know what? This is good. And
Cool.
I finished it in 2 nights. And then, like I would do like, I knocked out like 140 pages in one night, which
Oh,
is
wow.
very much not like me. And I was just, but it's very easy read.
What's it about?
So it's this girl who owns a restaurant, and she finds these mushrooms that when you eat them, you can go back and reverse what has happened.
Oh.
But every time you do that, you get further and further away from your timeline. And so things start to change and shift, and
Interesting.
she has to figure out what's going on and if she can get back.
Nice.
And it's very interesting. So I highly recommend picking that up. It's a very easy read, but very entertaining.
Very cool. I'd recommend Bill Burr's new stand-up comedy special, Paper Tiger. It's going to piss people off. But I watched it on the way to work today. I'm like, that's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good. So, I'd recommend that. You can find it on Netflix now. So, check it out. All right.
And one last thing to recommend that I still recommend to you guys. I don't think you've done it yet, but it is on Amazon Prime. Is These Final Hours?
Yes.
Oh,
So the movie set in Perth, where Perth is the last place left on Earth, and then it gets destroyed. So I know some of the people that are in that. I've got a nice, beautiful signed poster.
That's awesome.
It's like one of my favorite movies.
That's
I
awesome.
remember seeing the trailer for it, and I was like, I am intrigued. So I want to check that out. So I will consider it my mission to watch that.
Do so. Oh, and also the Chappelle stand-up.
Oh, yeah?
that recently got released.
Also been
Really
getting
funny.
Also been getting a lot of heat in some areas.
Yeah. Yeah. From what I understand, Bill Burr is probably going to get the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
good stuff.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Thank you all so much. Don't forget, if you are listening to us, you can also watch us on Twitch when we record our episodes, twitch.tv/MindGapPodcast. You can follow us on all our social medias at Mind Gap Podcast. We also have a YouTube channel where we release our episodes there as well. And Justin exists digitally also.
That's true. On Instagram and Twitter, at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. And while you're in the online realm, check us out on iTunes, on Stitcher, on
Spotify,
and on Google Podcast, wherever you can find your podcasts. Did I say iTunes again? Apple Podcasts. That's what I meant. Whatever.
I wasn't listening.
Figure it out. It's wherever you find podcasts. If you don't know where you listen to podcasts, and you're not even listening to this right now. That's weird.
Yep.
Anyway, review us, rate us, all those things that we love, and then twoeast8th.com/mindgap, and keep a lookout on 2 East 8th stuff, because we are inching progressively closer to Sid Penrose being ready. We should be getting a rough cut sometime this week, and then it will go to our composer, who will start to do the score, back to the editor, color correction, sound mixing, and then we're done. So hopefully sometime by October we should be looking at it.
That's awesome.
And then Drew and I are aggressively plotting out our 2020 plans. And,
very cool.
I'm not saying that there may be a feature involved in 2020.
Sweet.
Keep a lookout.
Very cool. Jarryd, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Justin, thank you so much for being here.
Doug, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you all. And see you next week.
Mind Gap Podcast.